Well, hey there, American Farmsteaders. This is Jenny with the Farmstead Family Farm. And of course, I am here with Donna from Hazel Bell Farm.
Hey, y'all. We're talking about what's up on our farms. The season that we're in, we're talking about grass-fed beef and lamb or grass-fed animals. And we are talking about an upcoming break.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, which is well needed. So you had an exciting week at your farm.
I did.
Tell us all about it.
I did. So our Belle calved last week when we recorded. It was her due date.
Okay. That's right.
She just calved the day before yesterday. So she was 6 days overdue or 5 days overdue. And she calved.
That's quite a bit.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's still in the safe range. It's still like, it's just like people.
Right.
Like, the chances of birthing on your due date are kind of slim. So safely 2 weeks on either side of that date. And she just went a couple days over. And of course, it just was nerve wracking for me.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, girl. Come on.
Because every waking second that you're outside, you're looking at her.
Yeah. Or if I have to be away.
Yeah.
If I had to go somewhere. Belle in particular, she does all those final signs before calving really fast, really all at the same time. So I'm always afraid to leave her.
Yeah.
But she did great. She did it
awesome.
all on her own. Yeah. She went from I fed her in the morning with her herd, and I went about my chores, did the milking, did everything, and I was walking back in the house and just happened to look across the field and noticed she was holding her tail funny. I couldn't tell if she was just pooping.
Right.
Because it was so far. And I just thought I better keep an eye on that. Well, at the same time, Eric left out for work. And when he drove out of the driveway, he also noticed and called me and said, "Hey, you better check on Belle. She's holding her tail funny." And she just laid down. I was
nice.
like, okay. So right back out I went, which I planned to when I had seen that. I just how hot it is. I was so nasty hot. I needed a bite to eat, and none of that happened. So I just changed my clothes and ran back out, and I did get to see the whole thing.
Nice.
I got to video it, so I'll put it up on our YouTube channel, and it's exciting. It was exciting. She did great. She's got a little bull calf. It's her first bull.
Aww.
That was the other shocking part was she's had 5 heifers now.
Wow.
Yeah. No, wait. She's had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 heifers. So 3 for us, 2 before we got her. And this is her first bull.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wonder, you mentioned that she doesn't show any of the signs until right at, I'm going to have a calf today.
I mean, her udder does swell, but not her milk doesn't come in until it's time.
Okay. So do you think that that's more common with cows that have calved several times before? Maybe.
Definitely.
Okay. A little bit older. Yeah. Because we're watching our Daisy, our 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. She's out front now. So I'm constantly looking out the front window at her. Mm-hmm. But I talked to the lady that we bought her from, and she didn't keep good records, and Daisy was always with the bull, but she is guessing that Daisy was probably bred in December, January, something like that.
Okay. So October, November.
So she's coming up quickly, which Hershey was bred, we think, mid-December, and her due date is the end of September.
That's coming right up.
So we have both of them up front now, so I can keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
I'm building them an extra little shade structure out there this weekend, because it's hot.
It's so hot.
It is so hot.
It's so nasty. And you just don't know what you're going to get this time of year from day to day. It could be nasty, or we could have a cool front come through, and because we've had September babies in the past. And I remember thinking, oh, this was perfect. It was perfect timing. This time it was not.
It's hot.
It's been nasty.
Yeah. I've been out there hosing them down every day, sometimes twice a day, just to kind of cool them off. I feel so bad for them.
Yeah.
Because they're both getting pretty big. So that's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
We also, we separated Mary, our sheep, who was here to be bred. And then she had her little baby Jane. We separated them and put Mary with our ram, who now is named Harry. He never had a name before because we didn't know what we were going to do with him. I think we're going to keep him now.
Yeah.
He's a really good ram. He's not a butthead,
right?
And he seems good. So Harry and Mary are running the field together. Well, I thought that's fitting, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about a rhyme, a good silly rhyme, and they're hair sheep. So Harry.
Right. Yeah.
And then, so Jane's been by herself, and I thought, I really need to find her some friends. So I'm loosely shopping for some new Katahdin sheep. I don't know. Like, I also need to sell a few things to have some farm income to be able to do that.
Yes.
And we separated Belle and her new little baby from the rest of the herd because when she calves, she's the best. Like, she's good. We trust her completely, even though she's a cow and you never turn your back and all blah, blah, blah. But when she calves, her instincts kick in and she doesn't want any of the other cows around her baby. She normally is great with our dog, but she doesn't want the dog anywhere around her baby. So, she's fine with the little sheep though, but the sheep has the new little calf.
Oh,
and they're really cute.
Little friends.
Yeah, they're about the same size. This calf is tiny, so it's cute. It's cute. So Janie's got a little friend.
Well, that is good news.
Yeah.
So I kind of have good news from this week. I finally took the plunge on the aerated static compost pile project with my freezer.
Yes.
It's totally set up. It's running. I think I'm on, I put it all together on Monday.
Okay.
So it's been a full week. Okay, so an aerated static compost bin, basically it's a big freezer that we had, like an old chest freezer, like one of the large ones. Right. So it's, I don't know, maybe like 4 feet by 2.5 feet or something like that.
Okay.
I gathered a bunch of stuff up, which consisted of a ton of grass clippings. I didn't even use as many grass clippings as we had because we had a ton of them. Seminole pumpkin vine. I went into the woods underneath one of the big oak trees and raked up a huge pile of leaves and just forest floor dirt, basically. And, I went and bought a bag of mushroom compost.
Okay.
And soon I'll be adding pine shavings from the chicken brooder.
That's like a starter. Using the compost is like...
Yes. To inoculate it with the good bacteria and the microorganisms. So hopefully it was a decent bag of compost because you never know these days.
Right.
My phone's ringing. Hang on.
That's okay.
So basically, I layered all of those ingredients in. I did pretty thin layers, though. I mean, my layers were probably only like an inch or two thick, and I did it kind of like a lasagna garden. Just layered everything together. Oh, and my other brown that I had was I buy those range cubes from Hillendale that come in like the double paper bag. It's like a big brown paper bag. And so I took like maybe 4 or 5 of those and shredded those up. I had a bucket of sheep manure that went in also. And I had a bucket of food scraps.
Nice.
I had a bunch of stuff.
Nice.
And so I
think diversity is key.
Diversity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I layered all that in there on top of my air pipes. And so my air pipes that run, and I'll do it different next time. Okay. But right now my pipes are running just on the floor of my freezer. They are 1.5 inch pipes and they have holes in them, 3/16 of an inch. And they're kind of staggered on the sides. I didn't want to do them on the top because I didn't want stuff to just directly fall in there. So I thought it would be better kind of on the diagonal. And I didn't want them on the bottom because you actually get like some compost tea on the bottom, which is now coming out of my drain of the freezer. So I'm like, I need to stick a pan under there.
And use that in the garden.
Yeah. So I was originally going to purchase like a blower or an air pump of sorts, but I couldn't get anything quickly. And I'm all about instant gratification. There's no
much for those Bible lessons in the garden. No, I'm with you. I got it.
And figured I have an air mattress pump. Like, I'm going to try to use my air mattress pump. And so we have one that has like a pretty long tube on it. And
what a great idea. We have one of those and no air mattress. So,
right. Okay. Exactly. So, I hooked it all up to the PVC. And so, the original plan was to have the air pump set on a timer. Mm-hmm. And my original plan was to have the timer go off for 1 minute every hour.
Okay.
Cannot find a timer that does that.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have it set on a timer right now. I basically just turn it on anytime I think about it. Or if I'm out there doing chores, I'll walk over and just flip it on.
Okay.
So it's been set up for a whole week. I have a compost thermometer in there, and literally within like 12 hours, my pile was at 140 degrees.
Wow.
She's hot.
Nice.
So I left alone for 4 whole days, didn't touch it. By the end of the 4 days, I could just walk up and touch the pile, and it was totally warm to the touch, the whole entire pile. Ooh. So at that point, my thermometer was reading 150.
Okay.
And since because the idea of the aerated static compost pile is that you don't turn it because you're pumping oxygen into your pile.
Right.
So that takes out the need to turn it to introduce oxygen into the pile.
But isn't there too hot?
Yes.
You don't want to kill, right? All the microorganisms.
Right. So you don't want your pile to get too hot, which turning it cools it down as well. So when I saw that it was at 150, I was like,
Okay, but what is too hot? I can't remember.
I don't know what too hot is, but ideal is 130 for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
That's what's going to kill your pathogens in your weed seeds.
Okay.
So I've read. So I've heard on YouTube.
Surely. Well, we all know that's where all the magic happens.
I mean, that's where I got all this idea from, was YouTube.
Okay.
And so at day 4, I decided to go ahead and turn the pile because my air pump really wasn't on a timer like I wanted to. And I really don't think that the air pump that I'm using is quite strong enough. I think I want something that has a little bit more oomph to it.
Okay.
And in hindsight, the next time I do this, I will build a frame with hardware cloth to put over my pipes. So dirt is not directly on my pipes.
Okay. That makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
So, which won't be a big deal to put together. That should be pretty easy to build like a little screen
a tight
for it.
Hardware cloth or almost like a screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Something that the air can flow through, but dirt's not going to fall through. So next time, maybe I'll do that. I don't know. It's a good idea. So I turned the pile, and literally when I opened up this pile, you would not believe the steam that was coming out of this. Like, I have never had a compost pile get that hot ever.
Nice.
And the realization came to me like, compost is kind of like a living thing.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And I had not really had that realization before, but it really just kind of sunk in like, oh, all living things need air. They need water. It's a living organism in there. Right. So you got to feed it and you got to give it air, or it's just going to die if it dries out. And doesn't have any air. So it totally makes sense. So I turned it a little bit. I didn't go crazy on the mixing, just kind of, turned the outside of it in a little bit and watered it a little bit more, stuck the thermometer in it, and I haven't touched it. So
how many days ago was that?
I turned it 2 days ago.
Okay.
And the thermostat the temperature gauge still says 150.
Wow.
And you can still go out there and touch it, and the sucker's hot. So I'm thinking that I might want to introduce more brown.
I was telling Eric about your project. And he's like, we don't have a broken freezer. And I said, well, we kind of do.
You can find a broken freezer.
I know. We have one on its way out. Like, it actually happened to go out at the same time our walk-in went out, And we realized it wasn't that it went out. It's not sealing right when you close it. So it probably just needs like a new seal on it.
Yeah.
I don't see us doing that.
No.
I don't, so like when it's literally all that's in there right now is beef fat and bones. And, he insisted on keeping that when the walk-in went out. And I was like, what? I don't care. Like, whatever. He's no, that's good stuff. You know how hard it is to find beef fat. So
yeah, it is.
He's right. But we're running this freezer for a bin full of beef fat and bones. And which also I need to make myself a note. That reminds me to talk to the butcher. We've got a cow at butcher right now hanging, and I need that fat.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's like, you don't need to take a freezer out there. And I said, I feel like I do. I said, no, let's see what Jenny does and let her be the guinea pig and figure it out. And then she'll teach me her ways. And that freezer might find its way out in my garden.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's going to happen quick too.
Yeah.
I really do. I really feel like it's going to make some good compost in a very quick way.
Well, they say like when you do those hot compost, if you do the right amount of materials and you do it properly with the turning and the air and the right water and all of that you can get a good quality compost at 28 days.
Yeah. I've even seen an 18-day method.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a guy, what's his name? Billy something.
Okay.
Permapasture Farm.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
He's Mr. Compost Guy. Yeah, he's Mr. Compost Guy.
Yeah.
But they do a quick compost anyways. So
yeah, I've watched all his composting videos. He's got some good videos. He's a smart dude. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So that was my new project this week.
That's exciting.
When we go out to get baby chicks out of my brooder, I'll take you over and show it to you.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So that's our other new thing. We both got chicks then today.
Yes, we did.
Yep.
135 meat chickens to be exact.
Yay.
And as I was setting up the feeders, I come to the realization like, oh gosh, I have meat chickens. Okay. All right. I'm doing meat chickens.
Yeah. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do, but it's kind of like, which I think people would be surprised to hear us say that.
Yeah.
But, like we're licensed with the limited poultry. We've been doing it ourselves for a while. We're teaching classes on butchering chickens. We're trying to get you people to do it. We don't like to do it.
No.
We really don't like to do it.
No, I would say probably as far as farm jobs go, the whole meat chicken thing, it is kind of the one job that everybody kind of grumbles about the most. Like, oh, it's meat chickens.
The worst. I would rather dig trenches. I would rather shovel poop. Mm-hmm. I would rather do anything else than raise and butcher meat chickens. Mm-hmm.
But the food security is worth it.
And the chicken tastes much better.
The chicken is amazing.
Yeah, it's so much better.
Yes, it is. It's amazing chicken. So, and it's nice to know that you have a freezer full of chicken at the end of the day. So
That's right. That's right. We're getting better about canning a bunch of our meat too, our chicken. So
yeah, I want to do that instead of keeping so much in the deep freeze. Put some up on the shelf. I've got the jars to do it, so I just need to really thaw a bunch of stuff and do it.
Yeah, cleaning out the freezer thing. I've been doing a lot of canning lately as well. So chickens, yay.
Yeah. So last week we started a little thing on answering questions that we get from people, like our most common questions. Last week, the questions were all about kiddos on the farm. And this week, we are going to answer a couple different questions that we get, and it's a popular one. Are you grass-fed?
Yeah. Is this beef grass-fed?
Yes, that is a very common question. I mean, we get it all the time. So
let's talk about what that means.
Yes.
What is grass-fed?
Yeah, because
versus what people think that it means.
Yeah, because there's a difference. There's grass-fed. There's 100% grass-fed. There's pasture-raised. not all pasture raised animals are going to be 100% grass fed.
Right.
Which is the camp that I'm in.
Right. Me too. And grass finished is what people really want to know, but that term isn't as well known to ask, are these grass finished? And there are a select few people who don't want to buy it unless it is grass finished. That is an acquired taste that they are happy with, and they have their reasons for wanting and seeking it out. And I understand that.
Yeah.
That's not what we prefer. And so that's not how we finish our animals.
Yeah, no, it's not what we prefer either. We prefer the green finish. It gives you that nice marbling, and, we like the fat.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that they're not grass fed.
Right.
Yeah.
I took a video the other day. I made a reel of my cows eating out in the pasture, and the grass is 8 inches tall.
Rain every day, monsoons every day. The grass is just, we cannot keep up with it.
And my caption was, this is how my not 100% grass-fed cows eat.
Right. Right.
And they're not 100% grass-fed because, we give them some extra range cubes for the protein because, we only have 10 acres. We're not by any means a beef cattle operation with hundreds of acres of land for our animals to graze.
Right.
So really for the health of the animal, not only, we like the green finish, but it's really more for the health of our animals. They need that extra protein.
They need some food. Yeah.
Well, and I think too, in Florida, our grasses aren't really diverse here in Florida.
No, they're kind of crappy. We have very sandy soil.
Right.
And, it does vary from regions, but it's what does grow. And you got to have irrigation if it's not the rainy season. We grow different grasses in winter than we do in summer. I think that is probably true in most areas, but none of what we can grow is very quality nutrition.
No. It's not very high protein like an alfalfa or a timothy or a lot of the grasses that you'll find on the more northern based.
Around the plains.
Yeah.
We're not getting that here.
Yeah. I did figure out though, what percentage of my cow's diet is grass fed versus grain fed.
That's a math project I haven't done. Go for it.
And I figured it on our largest cow, the Black Angus. So she's a big girl. I would say Hershey's, probably at least 1,000 pounds, maybe 1,100 pounds. She's a big girl. So I did the numbers on her, because that's what was kind of readily available. So from what I understand, cows her size are going to eat about 25 pounds of forage a day.
Okay.
Which just seems like so much.
Did you weigh those grass clippings for your compost?
No, I didn't, but that's a great idea.
That's how to figure that. 25 pounds is a lot.
It was a huge pile. And it probably weighed more than 25 pounds.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah. So, a cow that size is supposed to consume about 25 pounds of forage a day. I weigh our cattle cubes. I don't do it every day. I did it initially one time and figured out this is the size bucket I have. You're supposed to feed 3 pounds of cattle cubes per head per day. So
for maintenance.
Yes.
Not for growing.
Right.
So if you're
not for growing,
if you're growing out a steer,
not for pregnant, lactating mamas.
Right. Okay.
Right. This is
3 pounds a day maintenance.
Right. This is baseline, 3 pounds a day maintenance. So that would mean 12% of Hershey's diet is coming from cattle cubes versus grass.
Okay.
If she is consuming 25 pounds of grass a day.
Okay. Cool.
So I thought that was cool to figure out. I was like, I really kind of want to know that. What percentage am I really?
Yeah. And then people want to know, what's the protein? You say protein, what does that mean? And because a lot of people don't realize that the protein is a plant. It's plant.
Yeah.
It's It's not like animal byproduct.
No.
And I don't say that like to, it's like, duh, but because a lot of people don't realize some of these cattle operations, have their cows in feedlots, and they do get animal byproducts. Mm-hmm. And in fact, that was really the start of mad cow disease back in the 90s when it got, really ramped up. And we had big issues here in our country was because they were feeding dead cattle back to the cows. Right. Like nobody scratched their head and thought, this is probably not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
This is unnatural. As Joel Salatin says, this ain't right, folks. No, this ain't normal.
Yeah.
There are places where cows do get animal byproduct as part of their diet, and it's not normal. They are, technically they are herbivores, even though like they do eat their placenta after birth, like there's that argument where people say, no, they're not, they're omnivores.
Right.
Okay. They're not choosing to go. And honestly, our Belle has eaten baby chicks before.
Really?
Like I almost had a fit. I almost had a heart attack. Yeah. She was sniffing them. I didn't think she'd eat one. She totally picked it up and it was gone.
That is crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. So like, I don't think she even knew what she was doing. She's the cow that eats anything. Like she doesn't turn her nose up to anything. I think she just was being curious and it just happened. But, no, they're herbivores. They don't need animals. They don't need chicks to eat. But, so that protein is a plant-based protein cube, and they love it.
They do. They love them, and there's, I think, a huge benefit in feeding your large livestock a little bit of something every day, even if it's like just a little treat, because it gets them accustomed to coming up to you,
being handled,
handled and, not being so skittish.
Right.
Although I have one that I feed that's super skittish still. I touched her today though.
Oh, so say I don't like skittish animals.
Yeah. I'm really starting to work on her.
Good.
So, she only jumped a little bit today when I touched her.
Good.
So I guess the next question is, if you're not 100% grass fed, is the beef coming from a well-managed grazing operation? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even have to be an operation. It can be a well-managed homestead that grazes their animals versus feedlot beef.
Right.
Because I also found out that 97% of beef in the grocery store is straight off a feedlot.
If you've ever, I have never been near one of those physically, but we have good friends who are from Nebraska.
Okay.
It's feedlot country.
Okay.
And, and he says for miles and miles and miles away from the stockyards, you can smell it.
Oh.
And I said, like, you can, like, where their barns are, but, you see cows as you drive by. He said, no, there's no cows out on any kind of range or anything like that.
No, like the actual definition of a feedlot is confined animals basically packed into a small space with no access to any type of grazing.
No. Mm-mm. And they're often not even fed grass hay. They're just fed silage. And oftentimes
byproducts.
It's spoiled. I mean, or it does, it will spoil. I've heard countless stories of cows got drunk off of silage that had fermented. Yeah. I do not want to run into a drunk cow. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? No. It'd be fun. Funny.
Right? Funny from a distance.
Yeah, I don't want to run into it.
Well, and I think a common misconception sometimes, and I think people kind of think it and don't even realize it, but they think that if the beef is not 100% grass fed, that it automatically comes from feedlot.
Then it's not grass fed.
Right.
Right. Okay. So I also have this other, we move our animals around. We're doing our best to build pasture. We reduced our numbers this year.
Yeah.
inflation.
Yeah.
We realized quickly we couldn't seed our fields like we wanted to because we had too many mouths to feed and it cost too much.
Right.
So,
right.
We're down to good numbers, manageable numbers. And, now it is summer, the grass is growing. But I was able to go 4 weeks without buying hay.
That's awesome.
It is so awesome.
Yeah.
So, and I really think I could have pushed them a little bit longer, but we wanted to keep them off of the next field for a while. So, I think next year we'll do better. I'm hoping every year is better and better.
I know that every year is going to get better and better if you keep at it.
Yeah.
It really does make a huge difference. There are so many benefits of like a well-managed system like that.
Right.
One, it builds your soil,
right,
which is essentially really what you want to do because
That's
you want to grow
problem.
more grass.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Our grass is very sparse. And like if you look out, it looks beautiful and green.
Yeah. but if you look down.
Yeah, exactly. When you walk out there, you look down, you're like, gosh, that's a lot of sand here, Donna.
It's different, isn't it?
It is different. We've had, we've had to treat for internal parasites with the cows more often than we've ever had to treat before since we moved to this farm. And that is why, because it's sandy. They're searching lower to the ground for grass. It just is, it's been an adjustment. So, also I want to say, I don't support feedlots. I don't like that.
Right.
I mean, I understand how the masses are fed that way.
Right.
I get it. I don't want to be a part of it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't want to participate.
So, but on our farm, if we have a rude animal, it will be pinned.
Yeah.
It will be brought feed and water and hay every day. And that's how we do it. If we have a rude animal, if we have an animal that's underweight, it's not putting on weight for some reason, and it needs to be fed a little bit more. It needs to be separated because it's getting pushed out. Yeah.
There are situations where it's necessary to pull them.
And then also we started last year, the last 30 to 45 days before a steer goes to butcher, we do pin them. Now we use movable temporary corral panels.
Right.
And so we can move that around, so they don't always have to be on the same place. And
right, so they still have access to some grazing.
Oh yeah. They still get some green. They still get always fresh hay. Always.
And it's like 1 or 2 cows in the pen, not like 50.
Right, or hundreds.
Yeah.
as the big places do.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
What was the percentage you said that is purchased?
97. So the internet says,
okay,
97% of beef in the grocery store is feedlot beef.
Wow. So, like I said, I understand feeding the people, and that has become the model to efficiently feed the people. That's how the numbers worked out. People want to know, like, well, why does it cost so much? Why does grass-fed beef cost so much?
Right.
Why does your homestead beef cost more than the Aldi meat?
Right.
Well, we're doing a better job. It costs us more in inputs, first of all.
Absolutely.
It costs us more in inputs than it does the big farmer. The big farmer gets government subsidies. We don't get that.
No. No, I mean, my money, if it's not farm money that I made, it's husband's paycheck money.
Right.
That's funding the farm. Right.
No, we're still upside down. We're still upside down. We're not even breaking even still at our farm. But, why does grass-fed beef cost more than not grass-fed beef?
Well, I think too, people have to realize that when you have a big cattle operation or even a smaller cattle operation and it's 100% grass fed, those cows are not simply put out in grandma's back 40 to eat weeds.
Right.
Those cows are often put on a plot of land that, has been worked with equipment. It's been seeded, which takes equipment because it's probably hundreds and hundreds of acres in order to have enough graze land to sustain cows to be 100% grass fed. Right. So you have equipment cost, you have labor cost, you have your seed cost. They're probably spraying fertilizers on it. So you have fertilizer costs.
Right.
So there's a lot of expense in a grass-fed operation.
Yeah.
And 2, those cows aren't being handled like a cow that's fed every day on a smaller homestead. So their handling equipment that they have to have for those huge herds, they're spending tens of thousands of dollars on corral systems, chutes, head catches, so they can
safely work.
Yeah. So they can safely work their livestock. And that stuff ain't cheap.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
And the cost of diesel is not cheap to run those tractors.
No, it's not. No. And, employees and everything else that comes along with running a business.
So there's a lot of expenses in a grass-fed operation that people just don't even really think of,
Right.
It's out of sight, out of mind.
And then the other big thing is that it takes longer to grow out a grass-fed animal than it does to grow out a grain-fed animal or an animal on grass and grain.
Yeah.
Supplemented.
Yes.
I should say, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it takes longer to grow those out. We just had a Bell's calf is a Wagyu cross. We're super excited about that. It's super exciting. So he's the first one of those that we have, but in our research and, learning about the genetics and the meat marbling and the science behind all of that, because that somebody asked me real Japanese Wagyu is those cows are in hammocks and they don't walk.
Right. I've heard about this.
They get massages.
Yes.
They get their daily beer. She's like, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm not. Mama's raising this calf. But so typically when we send steers, beef steers, if they're good beef genetics, then they'll go anywhere from 14 to 24 months, depending on what they are. A lot of ours are dairy crosses. And so they need to be that full 24 to 30 months. And we learned with the Wagyu, they're slow growing. So some of it's genetics. He probably won't go until he's a full 3 years old.
Yeah.
So it depends. Belle's little too. So he's got half Belle genes. She's a little short, stocky girl. But the Wagyu they're just smaller cows and they take longer to grow. So on grass, that's going to be even longer.
It's going to be even longer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So those are kind of off the top of my head, a few of the reasons why grass-fed is just more expensive,
Yeah.
And really even, our cows, they're, what was it? Only 12% grain fed. That 12% of grain costs a lot.
It does. It does.
And mine aren't really growing out any quicker. I've kind of found that the ones that we've sent, if they're 2.5 years old, that's kind of a good age from what we've sent out. We've sent younger ones out and we didn't like them as much.
Right.
Like them a little bit older.
We kind of have the same management practice with our dairy cows too, except when they are in lactation, they get a lot more grain. When we're drying them off, they don't get any grain at all because grain makes them produce more milk. So when we don't want them to produce, we don't feed them grain. Leading up to that, we have to make sure that they are good weights. Otherwise, pulling that grain back is going to make them drop weight. So it's tricky. It's definitely a tricky science, and making sure they get all the right calories and all the right nutrients that they need, like the proper kind of calories, not just calories. And, so we do grain, but we also do a lot of alfalfa pellet.
Okay.
Because it's cheaper to keep than alfalfa hay.
Okay.
And, it doesn't get mildew in our Florida.
Hey, that's, there's something to be said for that.
I just had half a barrel of chicken feed spoil.
That's so frustrating.
Because moisture got in there. It is frustrating, but thankfully it's chickens. Chickens can handle that.
Yeah.
And they're fine.
Right.
But
whereas a cow,
if my cow feed got moldy, I couldn't feed it to them. It would be toxic.
Yeah. It would be trash.
feed it to the chickens. So,
and that's why we continue with chickens.
I guess that's why. I guess that's it. Yeah.
They are useful little creatures.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, what else? What else about grass fed? I think the bottom line is you want to know where your food's coming from. You want to know that it's been handled well. You want to know that if grass fed and grass finished, if that's the hill you want to die on, then do it. I'm not saying don't.
Right.
But if you're unsure about what that means and you think you've just heard grass fed is better for you and, do a little more research. Yeah. And figure out if you even like it.
And don't always assume that a beef cow is going to be inferior because 12% of its diet is grain.
Right. Right.
Like that's pretty much all grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's important to note if it's not grass fed, what kind of system is it in?
Right.
That's kind of more the question that people should be asking, I think.
I think so too. I agree. And it's kind of that good, better, best that we try to hit. It's like, okay, well, if this is best and we're not able to achieve that in a healthy way, right, then what's better?
Well, yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
That's where we come from.
Yep. It's a good plan.
Yep. So I guess that's it. Next week, we are going to take a break.
We're going to take a break next week.
We are a planned break.
Yes.
And then we're not sure if we're going to take a week or two. I don't know. Okay. When we come back.
We fly by the seat of our pants.
A little bit. Because this is not our daytime job.
No.
In fact, I have to go to a daytime job next week. We're going to come back with some fresh material, some fresh content for you guys with an actual plan. And we'll still fly by the seat of our pants, but we might have a better idea.
We'll see.
Coming into a Friday. No promises. We'll see. All right. So until next time.
Yep. Later, y'all.
Bye.